What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube. Before I get into this video, I would like to give everyone a big thank you for supporting me and coming out to watch my play-by-play streams throughout the basketball tournament. These TBT games were just absolute fire, and I cannot wait to cover the championship game with you guys, as it was just awesome to finally get back to some live sports with basketball again, and it was great to cover these TBT games before the NBA starts up at the end of July. So in this video, I'm going to preview the matchup and release my prediction towards the end of this video to the 2020 TBT Final set for Tuesday night on July 14th with the number 4 seed, the Golden Eagles, the Marquette alumni, taking on the number 22 seed, Sideline Cancer, the surprise of this year's 2020 TBT. So first, we'll take a look on how both of these teams managed to get to the finals here. Sideline Cancer ended up winning 4 games in a row, taking down the higher seeds every single time in upset fashion. In the Golden Eagles, they won 3 straight games in a row to get here to the final. So we'll take a look here at Sideline Cancer's path to the final. In the first round, in the round of 24, Sideline Cancer won against the 11 seed Team Hines, 93-91 the final. Marcus Keene led all scores with 29 points for Sideline Cancer and made 5 3-point shots. In the round of 16, Sideline Cancer took down the 6th seed, Team Challenge ALS, 76-66. Remy Abel led all scores for Sideline Cancer with 17 points, and Marcus Keene had 16. In the quarterfinals, Sideline Cancer winners over the 3 seed Bayheim's Army, 65-48. The game was actually tied up at 24 at halftime, and then Sideline Cancer took entire control of that second half as Maurice Creek came up in the second half in a big way and scored 22 points. And then in the semifinals on Sunday, Sideline Cancer winners, shocking the 2 seed Overseas Elite, 67-65, with a game winner by Maurice Creek. Marcus Keene led the team in scoring with 22 points, and Eric Thompson had 16 points. Now we'll take a look towards the pathway here for the Golden Eagles. They won their 3 games to get here. It started off with a round of 16 as they had that first round bye. Didn't play in the round of 24. So the round of 16, Golden Eagles, winners over the 13 seed, Team CP3, 76-67. Darius Johnson Odom led all scores for the Golden Eagles. He had 21 points, and he went 5 for 6 from downtown. In the quarterfinals, Golden Eagles, winners of that game against number 12 seeded Team Brotherly Love, 83-76. Dwight Bikes led all scores for the Golden Eagles with 19 points, and Darius Johnson Odom had 18 points. And in the semifinals on Sunday, Golden Eagles winners against the 8 seed Red Scare, the Dayton Flyers alumni, 79-70, as Jamil Wilson scored 23 points and he made 5 3-pointers. So now we're going to go over the keys to the game here to both of these teams. We will start off here with the 22-seeded Sideline Cancer first here towards the keys to the game for them. So for Sideline Cancer here, the first key to the game for them is they got to just build off Sunday's late points explosion that basically catapulted them to victory. They found themselves down by 12 points early, and then they were able to explode late in this game here, especially when it got into the fourth quarter. Reason why? Maurice Creek. He got hot in the fourth quarter, scored 9 out of his 10 points against Overseas Elite in the fourth quarter. They just have to build off and propel off of the late points explosion that they had there, with Creek getting more touches into the game and being able to get some more shots down, as they also had a great second half against Bayheim's Army as well that was able to propel them, and they started off the game great as well. They got out to a 6-0 lead in the semifinal against Overseas Elite. It was just they found themselves down by 12, but they never gave up. Second key to the game here for Sideline Cancers, to get both of these guards going and knocking down shots right from the start. That would be Marcus Keene and Maurice Creek. As I talked about Sideline Cancer getting out to that red-hot 6-0 start on Sunday against Overseas Elite. Getting out to a hot start here in the finals, it will just be a major help once again for Sideline Cancer. And by the way, both Keene and Creek, they are just tremendous from downtown with their range shooting from three-point range here, as they remind me so much of Steph and Clay shooting the 3, as they're just but the TBT version here for Marcus Keene and Maurice Creek. Through 4 games in the TBT, Marcus Keene and Maurice Creek, they have combined for 23 made 3-point shots. And this duo right here of Keene and Creek, they account for 62% of Sideline Cancer's perimeter shooting so far in the 4 games through the TBT. Another key to this game is the third guard in the starting 5 here, Remy Abel for Sideline Cancer, as that has to be get the shooting guard Remy Abel going and connecting on shots early and often in this one as well. Remy Abel, he started out well. He had 2 straight 17-point games starting out in the TBT in the rounds of 24 and 16, but in the last 2 games, Abel has cooled off quite a bit for Sideline Cancer. He's only gone 2 for 7 from behind the arc during the last 2 games here, so getting Remy Abel some shots here and having him connect as far as in this game, if he's able to hit down shots, that's going to have a major impact here for Sideline Cancer. So we just talked about the guards for Sideline Cancer. So aside from the 3 guards here with Keene, Creek, and Abel, we will move on here to the low post, as they're going to have to need a lot here from their 6'9" big man, Eric Thompson, as well, as he is going to have a major impact on the boards. Eric Thompson, he is averaging just under 13 rebounds through the 4 games so far that they have played in the TBT. He also had an 18 rebound game against Boeheim's Army in the quarterfinal. With Thompson's help on the boards, Sideline Cancer has been able to win the rebound battle in all 4 of their games, and they are also a plus 35 combined through 4 games on the boards in the TBT. As Thompson, he will just need to stay out of foul trouble if they want to have a chance to win here. Stay out of foul trouble for Eric Thompson. That will definitely increase Sideline Cancer's chances of winning in this game here, as he has just been a rebound beast through the 4 games that he has played so far in the TBT. Another key of success here for Sideline Cancer in this one, it has to be winning the shooting battle, as Sideline Cancer was able to outshoot all 4 of their opponents when it came to converting shots from the floor, and they're going to have a tough one here with the Golden Eagles, as the Golden Eagles have been shooting like low 50% from the floor here throughout their 4 games in the TBT around that mark or so. Another thing here for a key in this game for Sideline Cancer has to be avoiding the turnovers, as Sideline Cancer, they play with a really just up-tempo style of offense, but the problem here is they've been turning over the ball quite a bit in the TBT so far. They've turned over the ball 10 or more times in all 4 of their games, so they have turned over the ball a lot. They need to cut back on turnovers in this game if they want to get away here and come away with their 5th upset in the TBT title here. Sideline Cancer is going to have to cut back on those turnovers. And we got 2 more keys left here for Sideline Cancer, as this one has to be avoiding foul trouble, and this has to go from the main starting 5 for Sideline Cancer, because Sideline Cancer doesn't really have a deep bench to them. They have a really solid starting 5 though. During the last game against Overseas Elite, 4 players out of the starting 5 for Sideline Cancer played 32 minutes or more, and Marcus Keene, he played the full 36 minutes in the last game against Sideline Cancer. So these players here for Sideline Cancer, they log in a ton of minutes on their roster here, and they need to just avoid foul trouble from their main starting 5, so they just can keep on playing and playing and playing, because they don't have that deep of a bench for their team. And the last key of success here in the championship game against the Golden Eagles for Sideline Cancer has to be this one: stopping Dwight Bikes and Jamil Wilson for the Golden Eagles. As in the last year's 2019 TBT, Dwight Bikes scored 34 points. He went 13 for 15 shooting from the floor. And Jamil Wilson, he had 22 points and 8 rebounds for the Golden Eagles. And this was last year's game in 2019 when these 2 teams last met up in the TBT. And the Golden Eagles won this game in the round of 16, 88-80, the final against Sideline Cancer. So those are the keys of success there for Sideline Cancer. And now we'll move on over to the keys of success in this game for the number 4 seed, the Golden Eagles. The Golden Eagles were the runner-up in 2019 in the TBT to Carmen's Crew, but Carmen's Crew got bounced early in the round of 16 in this year's 2020 TBT. So the keys of success here for the Golden Eagles heading into this one is to defend that perimeter. They need to shut down the 2 sharp shooting guards here, these 2, especially Marcus Keene and Maurice Creek, before they get to Remy Abel as a 3rd from the outside. They need to shut those guards down there in this one and defend the perimeter for the Golden Eagles. Another key in this one for the Marquette alumni has to be continuing that 3-point shooting dominance from the outside. The Golden Eagles made 11 3-point shots against Team CP3. They also dropped down 11 3-pointers from behind the arc against Red Scare as well. They also made 10 3-point shots against Team Brotherly Love. This team can connect from behind the arc. And as a team right now, the Golden Eagles are lighting it up from the floor. They are shooting 43.8% from 3-point range through their 3 games in the TBT. Another key of success here for the Golden Eagles in this one is just to keep up that perimeter passing. The ball movement is the reason why they're able to get open shots. They had terrific ball movement against the Red Scare, tallied in 14 assists in that game. And if the Golden Eagles continue to move the ball like this around the perimeter like they did in their last game, they will just be tough to stop, as they should be able to get wide open if they move it like that once again and hit down to open shots. Another big thing here for the Golden Eagles is this one is do not get into foul trouble. The Golden Eagles have trouble with that so far in the TBT. They've committed more fouls than their opponents in all 3 of their games so far. So do not get into foul trouble here for the Golden Eagles in the championship game. Another thing that they need to make sure that they do heading into this game is to box out. They have to box out inside on the boards, and do not let Eric Thompson, the Sideline Cancer, beat you to the rebounds here, and do not let him get multiple rebounds. As the Golden Eagles, they were a -7 on the boards in the semifinal against Red Scare. They're going to need to clash the boards in this game, go up for it, and try to compete with Eric Thompson and Sideline Cancer on the rebounds for this one. Another key in this game here for the Golden Eagles has to be this: do not let up. Do not get lax and complacent when you're up, especially if you're up by double digits. You do not want to get comfortable here against Sideline Cancer if you're the Golden Eagles up by double-digit points if it happens in the final here. Because if there's one thing that we have seen throughout these TBT games, it is this: never count out Sideline Cancers. They have been the comeback kings here of the tournament. The Golden Eagles, they have massive leads as well. They held massive leads against Team CP3 and Team Brotherly Love, as they were up by 17 points against Team CP3, but only won by 9 points. And the Golden Eagles also got out to a 19-point lead, but they won by 7 points against Team Brotherly Love. So if they do get out to a double-digit point leads, they just cannot let up against this type of team like Sideline Cancer, because that's what the game against Overseas Elite showed you. Overseas Elite got out to a 12-point lead, and then it was Sideline Cancer who ended up being the winners, as they got the final shot down from the floor and won it off the 3 by Maurice Creek. So anything can happen here, but that is a big one. Do not just get comfortable with that big lead here. And we actually got one more final key to this game here before I go into my prediction for the Golden Eagles, and that will be this one: Dwight Bikes. He needs to be the key player here for the Golden Eagles in this one. He had 34 points when these two teams last met up in the TBT back in 2019. Dwight Bikes needs to be the go-to player in this one. He needs to have a bounce-back game as well. He only scored 6 points against Red Scare. As Dwight Bikes, he'll just need to channel that inner 2019 TBT form that he had last year, dropping down 34 points against Sideline Cancer in the TBT back in 2019. So that is the keys to both of these teams in this game. Now I'm going to move on here to my prediction for this matchup between these two teams here. And I'm going to predict here, I feel like Sideline Cancer is going to be down like quite early in this game and quite often as well. But in the end, that's the only outcome that matters here, is who wins the game. And I think towards the end of this game, in the late stages, Sideline Cancer will be able to get back into this game, hitting some tough shots, and they'll be able to make a comeback again here. And that is where I'm predicting Sideline Cancer will pull off the upset in a close, tight game here. Final score prediction, 78-76 the final, as I've got Sideline Cancer winning the 2020 TBT. So here's the thing about this: Marcus Keene last year, he only had 7 points against the Golden Eagles in the 2019 TBT. I feel like Marcus Keene just has something to prove here, and will have a massive game for Sideline Cancer here in the final, as basically it tells you no lead is comfortable against Sideline Cancer. You can never count them out. Look what they've done so far in the TBT. They were down by 12 points in the third quarter against Team Hines in the round of 24. They came back and won that game. Down by 8 points in the third quarter against Team Challenge ALS. They came back and won that game. They were tied up at halftime against Bayheim's Army, but they outscored Bayheim's Army in the second half, 41-24 in the quarterfinal. And then Sideline Cancer coming back down by 12 points against Overseas Elite to win the game in the semifinals. So that's where I'm going to take Sideline Cancer in this one for the upset. So that's a wrap here to this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, feel free to join the live stream tomorrow night as I'll be covering play-by-play Tuesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time on July 14th to the TBT final here. The 4-seed Golden Eagles taking on the 22-seed Sideline Cancer as I'll be calling the matchup, and hopefully it lives up to its hype, and hopefully it will be a good one. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, as this is Behind the Arc Basketball on YouTube.